I do want to talk about 2 millimeter presence sensors I've been testing, which is the LinknLink eMotion Max and the eMotion Pro. Now, we've been talking a lot about millimeter wave sensors. They've been getting a lot of attention lately, and we certainly mention them, I think, basically on every episode this year. And they go beyond traditional motion sensors. I've talked about that many times. Most of us started with a PIR motion sensor, the little ones that trigger when they detect heat movement. They're great for basic automations like turning lights on when you walk into a room, but they do have the major downside that if you're sitting down for a while or you're on the toilet, the sensor assumes you've left the room and the lights turn off. Millimeter wave sensors, on the other hand, use radar technology. They send out radio waves and measure the reflections, so that means they can pick up tiny movements, even breathing, and know someone's still in the room. They can even detect how far away you are from the sensor, so you can get, am I 2 meters, 1 meter away? So as we've been talking a lot about these types of sensors on the podcast, LinknLink were kind enough to send me a couple of units to test. So I decided to put the sensors to the test in the context of Home Assistant, and I started out with the eMotion Max. The setup was straightforward. Pairing is done over Bluetooth for the Pro and Wi-Fi for the Max. I was then able to configure MQTT and get everything talking to Home Assistant. Once online, the sensor exposes a bunch of entities, presence detection, distance to the nearest person, and even some zone-based data as well. I do have some concerns with their app needing Wi-Fi password, which is a downside for me. They want to store that in the cloud by the looks of it. In single-person scenarios, the devices worked pretty well. Entering and leaving a room were detected quickly, and data coming through MQTT matched what I was seeing in their LinknLink app. But things got interesting when there were multiple people in the room at the same time. So when I had two or more people
Yeah.
moving between rooms, the tracking accuracy became a bit hit or miss. Sometimes one person would drop off, especially if someone else was closer to the sensor. It's definitely not perfect yet for multi-person tracking. And switching over to the eMotion Pro, aesthetically, it's identical to the Max. They both look like this. You never know the difference side by side. They've got the same accessories. It's got the same USB-C power and the same Bluetooth Wi-Fi setup. The difference between the Max and Pro is the Pro doesn't have multi-room support, so you only get the how close you are to a sensor. The Pro has support for up to 6 zones, which lets you define how close someone can be to the device, but it does appear to be in beta on the app. So it doesn't track direction or anything like that. In terms of performance, presence detection was pretty fast actually. There's also a delay off option, so you can smooth out, if someone's walking away from a device. You can also listen for enter and leave events in Home Assistant, which I thought was a nice touch, and they're great for triggering automations instantly. One thing to watch out for, like most millimeter wave sensors, these can sometimes see through walls. I actually had false detections from my laundry picking up movement in the next bedroom over,
Oh,
but I was able
interesting.
to adjust the range to be a short distance, which was able to solve that. So
Yeah.
overall, I think the LinknLink eMotion sensors are promising, especially for the price and the native Home Assistant compatible MQTT support. I really did appreciate that. Multi-person tracking was a bit hit and miss, but I've had the same experience with other millimeter wave sensors, for example, from Apollo Automation and a couple other brands as well. If you're looking to dabble into mmWave presence sensors for single room use, they're worth trying. For the price point, they are one of the nicest looking millimeter wave sensors I've seen so far. Just be ready to spend a bit of time tuning these detection ranges to avoid any cross room triggers. I've also got a write up on my blog at philhawthorne.com, which I'll link in the show notes, going a bit more in depth as well. I hadn't heard of eMotion Pro devices before, so it was nice to see these, have them, like for them to reach out to us, and that they've got the MQT support, which uses Home Assistant Discovery. I would love to see a Zigbee or Matter version of these for sure, but yeah, these are it. Thanks, LinknLink, for sending it out. I really do appreciate it. They haven't paid us in any way for this. It was just they said, "Hey, try out these devices. We've got MQTT and it integrates with Home Assistant. Would love to get your opinion." And yeah, I was a bit skeptical at first, but no, they integrated very well into Home Assistant.
Yeah, that's neat. It's and it's nice that it's MQTT too, right? So you can just block it from whatever internet, whatever, and it's all local then at that point.
That's it. Yeah, the app does look like it requires to talk to their server, and I mentioned there that the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi You,
It's
from
stored
what I
and
see, it does ask to store your Wi-Fi password on their cloud servers, which was a bit concerning for me. Not that I have anything to hide, or I could do anything with that
sure.
password from wherever their servers are located, but yeah, it's not ideal. I'd rather be just on the device. Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I think MQTT is nice. It also means that it doesn't get locked into Home Assistant as well. Like if there's another, maybe you're not using Home
Right.
Assistant, maybe you're using Habitat or whatever, Homey, and if they can access MQTT, um, you can just read those topics as well.
Yeah. No, that's cool. It's nice. We don't get too much stuff sent to us usually, but it's cool when we do. So
Particularly the stuff that we want to talk about, right? Like how many, real estate
yeah.
agents reach out to us and be like, "Hey, you should have this person on the podcast." Like,
Well, it's cool. Like I mean, a lot of times the stuff that we do get sent out end up happening after we have people from there on their show, right?
yeah, exactly.
Like again, Apollo or Air Gradient and that kind of stuff, and it's which is again really appreciated as well. So thank everyone for doing that. But
And thanks, LinknLink, for also reminding me or pushing me to do a blog post on this. I thought I would do a blog post because I recently upgraded my site to from WordPress to Ghost, following Frank's footsteps, and I realized I hadn't done a blog post in like 6 years.
you know what? Me too.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like since doing the podcast, there's just been no time for blogging. Right, I looked at the whole list of drafts on my blog. I'm like, oh yeah, I got it. Most of those don't apply anymore. Right, it was a pre AI. Nothing on those drafts is salvageable anymore.
That's it. There you go. Well, it's funny. I forget who we were talking to, but there's some talk about like doing blogs and stuff like that too. And I was like, I should update my website. So I actually got Claude Code to just rebuild the
There
whole
you
just the
go.
theme of the website.
Yep.
And I host mine on GitHub Pages, and it's still on GitHub Pages, whatever, right? So Claude went in and did everything, and it actually looks really nice now. So check it out, karamandi.com. But I still don't have any new blog posts. So maybe one of these days I'll do that. I'm not going to use AI to make my blog posts. That's a line I don't want to cross yet. Who knows? Maybe I will at some point, but that's not yet.
Yeah.